Listen to radio.
Hey, this is music producer Reggie Marks, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way that you listen to radio.
This is Noel Gordine. You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
What's up, everybody? This is Minnie Manchester, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
We at iLive are now into phase 2 of the iLive volcano relief.
Supporting the victims of La Sofria eruption in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Aid is still and urgently required for those who have lost their homes and businesses.
We need you to help in whatever way you can. Please visit our Facebook and Instagram for a list of items required.
Or make a donation by using our PayPal link.
Drop-off points are Aquarius Hair and Mentos Coffee and Flowers, Finsbury Park, London N4 2DQ.
Or Mr. Sims, Old Sweet Shop, 135 High Street, Bromley, Kent, BR1 1JF.
West London Point to be confirmed.
Alternatively, you can contact Jarzinho
on 07 507 286 388. Alexa
on 07949 785 711.
Simone on 07 984 186 794.
Or you can contact Darren 078 46 774 002.
We thank you for your continued support.
This is your girl Kaz Mack, and I am the presenter of Now Chat Show, a platform to inspire. Want inspiring conversation, uplifting tunes, community updates, and a rundown of what's happening for the weekend? Then look no further. Each week we'll feature special guests, share their stories, and discuss topics that matter to you. With phone-ins, competitions, giveaways, and great music, I'll get you ready for the weekend, so be sure to lock into Now Chat Show, a platform to inspire, every Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. on iLive UK, changing the way you listen to radio.
Hi, Victor V here, letting you know that you can join me each and every Friday between 7 and 9 p.m. for some reggae motives right here at iLive Radio. We'll be featuring the best in old, new and middle-aged reggae and dancehall with a touch of this and that, and also bringing along some guest DJ sounds and artists to join us from time to time. Reggae Motives, each and every Friday between 7 and 9 p.m. is where we aim to make the music motivate you.
Get my love.
You're listening to Shay Boogie DJ.
On the house that Boogie built.
Playing bangers after bangers after bangers. Hold on, did I mention he'll be playing bangers?
Each and every Friday from 9 to 11 p.m. right here on iLive UK. Changing the way you listen to music.
iLive UK want to hear from you. You can get involved by calling us on 0208 638 8503, or you can send a WhatsApp message, text only, to 07 564 265 257. You can watch us live on YouTube and Mixcloud, and whenever you miss a show, you can listen back via Apple and Google Podcasts. Don't forget to download our iLive Radio Network app from the Google Store and take us on the road with you. It's iLive UK across all platforms, changing the way you listen to radio.
You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio.
Hi, join me, Miss B, every Saturday between 10 and 12 on iLive UK for my Edutainment with Infotainment show, bringing you short stories and poetry, music and lots more. See you then.
brown. Shall we run through it once more at normal speed? No. No, I don't think so.
Good morning, young readers, and welcome to Edutainment with Infotainment, and my name is Miss B. On today's show, there will be story time, a sticky note challenge, a movement break so we could get up and move our bodies, top tips for listening parents, and much more. And I'd just like to say good morning again to everybody, and I hope that you have had a great week. And I know the weather's been a bit up and down, but I hope that you have made the most of it. So, like I said before, on today's show, we will be having story time, a sticky note challenge, some music, top tips, poetry, games, and much more. So I just want you to take a few moments to listen to the music, which is going to take you exactly where our story adventure is going to begin today. Have you found your comfy space yet? I hope you have. And I hope you're ready for the story to begin. So today, I'm reading a wonderful story, and it's called Sulwe, and it's by Lupita Nyong and illustrations by Vashti Harrison. Sulwe was born the colour of midnight. She looked nothing like her family, not even a little, not even at all. Mama was the colour of dawn, Baba the colour of dusk, and Mish, her sister, the colour of high noon. Hardly anyone at school looked like Sulwe either. People gave her sister Mish pet names like Sunshine and Ray and Beauty. People gave Sulwe names like Blackie and Darky and Night. Sulwe felt hurt every time. So she hid away while her sister made lots of friends. Sulwe dreamed of being the same colour as her sister. She wanted real friends too. So she got the biggest eraser she could find and tried to rub off a layer or two of her darkness. That hurt. She crept into Mama's room and helped herself to her makeup. Oh no! she would hear about this from her mama. Sulwe decided to work from the inside out and ate only the lightest, brightest foods. With a stomachache, she went to bed early and turned to God for a miracle. Dear Lord, why do I look like midnight when my mother looks like dawn? Please make me as fair as the parents I'm from. I want to be beautiful, not just pretend. I want to have daylight. I want to have friends. If you hear me, my Lord, and would like to comply, may I wake up as bright as the sun in the sky. Amen. When Mama came in to wake her for school the next morning, Sulwe rose to find not a trace of daylight in her midnight skin. Sulwe told Mama everything. Mama asked, "What's your name?" "Sulwe," she muttered. "And what does it mean?" "Star," Sulwe whispered. Brightness is not in your skin, my love. Brightness is just who you are. As for beauty, Mama said, rubbing Sulwe's stomach, the way she always did to comfort her, "You are beautiful," Sulwe sighed. "Well, you are beautiful to me, but you can't rely on what you look like to make you feel beautiful, my sweet. Real beauty comes from your mind and your heart. It begins with how you see yourself, not how others see you. Now up you get and out you go." Now how could she, as dark as she was, have brightness in her? How could she have beauty when no one but her mother seemed to see it? How could she be a star? That night, a shooting star appeared at Sulwe's window. "The night sent me the star," she said. "Come with me." Sulwe hopped onto the star and off they went. "Long ago, at the beginning of time," said the star, "there was night and day, and they were sisters." They loved each other very much, but people didn't treat the sisters the same. I wonder, how do you think they treated the sisters? Should we find out? I think we should. People gave Day pet names like Lovely and Nice and Pretty. People gave Night names like Scary and Bad and Ugly. She felt hurt every time. Well, Night got fed up and walked right off the earth. Day stayed behind and enjoyed making everybody happy in the sun. But then Day grew too old. Day began to really miss her sister. So did everybody else. There had to be a way to get her back. Day set off to find Night. And she did. I miss you, said Day. I miss you too, said Night. But you don't know what it's like to be treated badly for being dark. You're right, I don't, Day replied. But what I do know is that we need you just the way you are. Come and see. Night returned and the people rejoiced. We need the darkest night to get the deepest rest. We need you so that we can grow and dream and keep our secrets to ourselves. The stars chimed in. Brightness isn't just for daylight. Light comes in all colours, and some light can only be seen in the dark. While day had a golden glow, with night everything had a silver sheen, elegant and fine. Day told her sister, when you are darkest is when you are most beautiful. It's when you are most you. Could it be that night did not need to change, not even a little, not even at all? What do you think, young listeners and parents? Now that night and day went back together, a little bit of night returned to day in the form of shadows. A little bit of day returned to night in the form of moonlight. They were inseparable from that moment on and promised to celebrate the brightness in each other, whether people chose to see it or not. You see, the star explained, we need them both on their sunniest day and their darkest night, and every shade in between. Together, they make the world we know, light and dark, strong and beautiful. Sulwe rose the next morning, beaming. There would be no hiding anymore. She belonged out in the world, dark and beautiful, bright and strong. And if she ever needed a reminder of her brightness, she could look up at the sky and the darkest night to see herself. Sulwe felt beautiful inside and out. The end. Now, young listeners and parents, this is an amazing story. And it was written by Lupita Nyong and illustrated by Vashti Harrison. Now, what did you think about this wonderful story? I thought it was amazing. It talked about different shades of colour and just loving yourself for who you are from the inside and from the outside. So if you'd like to share any comments about this story, you can do so by contacting me on the studio number, which is 0208 638 8503, or you can join me in the WhatsApp text only on 07564 265 257. Or if you want to join me in the iLive UK chat room, you can do so by going to iliveuk.com. You can find me and iLive UK on all social medias via YouTube, Twitch and Mixcloud. So, if you know anyone or any friends that would be interested in listening, please share and subscribe the information. Okay. You know what time it is. It's movement break time. You know what to do. Stand up, find a space, watch out for the furniture. Let's stretch our arms and shake our legs and get the blood circulating around our brains.
I stay out too late. Got nothing in my brain. That's what people say. That's what people say. I go on too many dates, but I can't make them stay. At least that's what people say. That's what people say. But I keep cruising. Can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I got this music in my mind saying it's gonna be alright. 'Cause the player's gonna play. And the haters gonna hate. Baby, I'm just gonna shake. Shake it off. Heartbreaker's gonna break. And the faker's gonna fake. Baby, I'm just gonna shake. I shake it off. I never miss a beat. I'm lightning on my feet. And that's what they don't see. That's what they don't see. I'm dancing on my own. I'll make the moves up as I go. And that's what they don't know.
And I hope that you're shaking it off. If you've had a long week,
You're listening to
at
iLive
school,
Radio, changing the way you
then
listen to
please let
radio.
me know.
iLive Radio.
This is Lisa Banton, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Hey, this is music producer Reggie Marks, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way that you listen to radio.
This is Noel Gordine. You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
What's up, everybody? This is Minnie Manchester, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
We at iLive are now into phase 2 of the iLive volcano relief.
Supporting the victims of La Sofria eruption in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Aid is still and urgently required for those who have lost their homes and businesses.
We need you to help in whatever way you can. Please visit our Facebook and Instagram for a list of items required.
Or make a donation by using our PayPal link.
Drop-off points are Aquarius Hair and Mentos Coffee and Flowers, Finsbury Park, London N4 2DQ.
Or Mr. Sims, Old Sweet Shop, 135 High Street, Bromley, Kent, BR1 1JF.
West London Point to be confirmed.
Alternatively, you can contact Jarzinho
On 07 507 286 388. Alexa
on 07949 785 711.
Simone on 07 984 186 794.
Or you can contact Darren 078 46 774 002.
We thank you for your continued support.
So that was a quick ad break, and now it's back to Shake It Off by Taylor Swift.
Hey, just think, while you've been getting down and out about the liars and the dirty, dirty cheats of the world, you could have been getting down to this sick beat. My ex-man brought his new
They say, oh my God, I see the way you shine. Take your hand, my dear, and place them both in mine. You know you stopped me dead while I was passing by. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. Ooh, I see you every time. And oh my, I like your style. You make me wanna cry. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. I said, oh my God, I see you walking by. Take my hands, my dear, and look me in my eyes. Just like a monkey, I've been dancing my whole life. But you just beg to see me dance just one more time. Ooh, I see you every time. And oh
Havana, ooh, na, na. Half of my heart is in Havana, ooh, na, na. He took me back to East Atlanta, na, na, na. Half of my heart is in Havana. There's something about his manners. Havana, ooh, na. He didn't walk up with that, how you doing? When he came in, he said there's a lot of girls I can do it, but I can't with that. No one forever in a minute. That's on my night. And Papa says he got Milo in him. He got me feeling like ooh. I knew it when I met him. I loved him when I left him. Got me feeling like ooh. And then
Who's to say what's impossible will they forgot? This world keeps spinning, and with each new day I can feel a change in everything. And as the surface breaks, reflections fade. But in some ways
So I hope that you liked that movement break, and it's now time for a sticky note challenge. So I hope, young listeners and parents, you were listening to the wonderful story Sulwe by Lupita Nyong and illustrations by Vashti Harrison. It's now time for our sticky note challenge. So before I go into the sticky note challenge, I'm just going to tell you how this is done. So the first thing that you need is a book, some post-it notes, and a pen. And what you'll do is, before reading the story with your child, you will place the sticky notes within the pages. And each time you get to a sticky note, you will ask your child a question. So, should we try our sticky note challenge? I think we should. So I'm just placing the sticky notes on the pages, ready for our sticky note challenge. So I hope that you had your listening ears on and you now have your thinking hat on and you are ready to play our sticky note challenge. So my first question for today is this. What colour did Sulwe describe herself as? What colour did Sulwe describe herself as? Countdown begins now. Now, if you said the colour of midnight, then you were correct. So well done to you. Give yourself a pat on the back, or you can give yourself a chair. Hooray! Let's keep going. And my next question to you is this. What does the word Sulwe mean? You know what to do. Make sure you had your thinking hats on and your listening ears. Countdown begins now. Now, if you said that the name Sulwe means star, then well done to you and great listening. Give yourself a pat on the back, or you can give yourself a wonderful cheer. Hooray! So that's 2 questions. Wow, young listeners, you have been doing some fabulous listening. My third question to you is this. What did Sulwe's mum tell her about brightness? What did Sulwe's mum tell her about brightness? Now, don't forget to get your answers in the chat room, or you can send it via WhatsApp text only. You know what time it is. Countdown begins now. Now, if you said that brightness is not in your skin, but brightness is who you are, then you were correct. Now, this was a great part in the story, and I'd just like to read it again because I think that as young children and also as adults, we should also love ourselves inside and out. And we should all know how beautiful we are. So Sului's mum told Sului, you are beautiful, and that you can't rely on what you look like to make you feel beautiful. And that the real beauty comes from your mind and heart. And it begins with how you see yourself, not how others see you. So, young listeners and parents, love who you are inside and out, because that's a great way to be. And if I could just give you a little bit of advice, you'll be so much happier once you are happy with yourself. My next question is this. What did Sului hop on one night? What did Sului hop on one night? Now, I hope you had your listening ears turned on and you've got your thinking hats on, because you know it's about this time. Countdown begins now. Have you guessed yet? Well, not to worry. The answer to my question was Sului hopped onto a star. Can you remember the people that she met on her journey? Take a few moments to think. Countdown begins now. Now, if you said two sisters, day and night, then you were correct. And well done to you. Now, young listeners and parents, that is the end of our wonderful sticky note challenge. So I do hope that parents, you try this at home with your children. It's a good way for you to know whether your child was listening to the story, whether they enjoyed the story, and it's also an opportunity for you to talk about the feelings of the characters and just talk about maybe what your child's favourite part of the story was. So that was Sului, and it's by Lupita Nyong, and illustrations by Vashti Harrison. So I hope that you enjoyed this wonderful story. Now I think it's about that time that we get back to some music. What do you think? Please let me know. And here is Wings by Little Mix. So this song is Wings by Little Mix, and I just want you to listen to the words, and I'm going to take this one back from the top.
You're insecure,
Don't know what for.
you're turning heads when you walk through the door
Don't need makeup.
to cover up.
Being the way that you are is enough.
Everyone else in the room can see it. Everyone else but you.
Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. The way that you flip your hair gets me overwhelmed. But when you smile at the ground, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know. You don't know you're beautiful. If only you saw what I can see, you'll understand why I want you so desperately. Right now I'm looking at you and I can't believe you don't know. You don't know you're beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful.
Baby, busca tu esto es un party por debajo del agua. Baby, busca tu paraguas. Estamos bailando como peces en el agua. Ey, como peces en el agua. Agua. No existe la noche ni el día. Aquí la fiesta mantiene encendida. Siempre que pasa me guiña. Ey, dulce como piña. Esto es un party por debajo del agua. Baby, busca tu paraguas. Estamos bailando como peces en el agua. Ey, como peces en el agua. Eso es así, debajo del sol. Vamos para el agua que hace calor. Dice que me vio en el televisor y que me reconoció. No fue un error, ya. Y te conozco, Calamardo. Ya, dale sonríe que bien la estamos pasando. Ya estamos al Gary, montamos el party. Estamos en bikini con todas las mami, ya. Puedo estar debajo del mar y debajo del mar tú me vas a encontrar. Desde hace rato veo que quieres bailar y no cambies de tema.
So, what sort of stuff have you got up to this week? I forgot to tell you all about Forest School this week and what we've been doing inside the class to celebrate Science Week. So this week in Forest School, we did lots of exploring, we played lots of games, and one of my favourite games that we played was called Witches, Wizards and Goblins. So I don't know if you've heard about that game, but it's a great game to play with your friends. You will need some adults to help you because they'll need to hold up a screen between the two teams. How do you play this game, you might be asking? Well, I'm going to tell you. So, like I said before, there's 2 teams of children. You could have from about 5 to 8 children on either side of a big sheet of material. Now, the material cannot be transparent. What does transparent mean, you might be thinking? So transparent means that you can see straight through it. So, like I said before, you can have 2 teams of about 5 to 8 children, and as a team, they are going to decide what character they're going to be. What do the characters do, you might think? Well, the wizard zaps goblins and the fairies run up the wizard's nose. What? Can you believe that? So, you have a few seconds as you're in your teams to decide which characters you're going to be. The adults will do a countdown and you guys take your positions. Now, this is like a fun game of musical statues, but each time you can add music to it if you want. The music stops, the children have to freeze into the character that the team has decided. Now, for example, if one team decides to be a wizard, they need to put their hands above their heads like this to create a wizard's hat. If the group decide to be a fairy, they need to spread out their fairy wings and flutter like this. Now, if they decide that they want to be goblins, they need to bring up their goblin claws and create a goblin face as scary as possible. Remembering that everybody in your team has to pose as the same character. Once the sheet has been lowered, then the answer is revealed, and whichever team wins, so for example, if you are a wizard, then you would, if the other team was a goblin, then you'd zap the goblin with your wand. That would be 1 point to you. If it was the other way around and you were a fairy, you would climb up the wizard's nose and poof, the wizard would be gone. So that's one fun game that we played in Forest School today. This week, like I told you last week, we decided in school to celebrate Science Week. Now, we all originally know that Science Week took place in March. However, we have been celebrating Science Week from all of last week, the 9th to the 16th of June. And we've got to watch some great experiments carried out by our science teacher and also take part in science activities ourselves. Now, if you remember, one of my first shows I talked about recycling and the importance of recycling, and we've been focused on single-use plastic. Now, single-use plastic is not really good for the environment, simply for the fact that it's only used once and then it's thrown away. And just imagine the impact that has on our environment and the animals and sea creatures that live around us. So we thought that we would create our own models out of plastic to bring awareness about single-use plastic and recycling. So in our class, we decided to make a dolphin, and the children spoke about what sort of things happen, how the creatures that live in the sea are affected by the sea creatures, and what it actually does to them. So some of the comments were that, you know, sometimes the sea creatures like dolphins and turtles actually mistake the plastic and rubbish that we either throw into the sea, or maybe the wind has come and it's blown out of a bin, or it was left on the beach when you have been going to the beach because it's been such lovely weather, and I know a lot of you have been traveling to the beach. So the children said that, you know, sea creatures can mistake these small pieces of plastic for food and try to eat it and swallow it, and unfortunately some animals die from this. So we spoke about the importance of using reusable plastic, maybe getting reusable containers or water bottles that can be reused, and other things like how could we help our environment. So we could do things like recycle or even create things out of plastic. That is a good way to reuse it. Now, from this whole week, I have come up with an amazing idea for my jewelry club on Monday. And so I've decided that as a jewelry club, we are going to make brooches from single-use plastic cups. How can we do this, you might think? Well, like I explained last week, you can get a plastic cup, preferably the ones which are white, take some colourful Sharpie pens, create a lovely design on them, and then pop them in the microwave. Now, like I said before, this has to be done with an adult. And if you ping it for a few minutes, you will uncover that the plastic actually melts. Now, when the science teacher showed us this in the assembly this week, it was amazing. My eyes were wide, the children's eyes were wide, and I was like, ping, I had a light bulb moment. What an amazing science experiment to try out. So, if you're into science and you really love science, why not try out this amazing activity? Or maybe you know of some other activities that you can try out. Please let me know. So that was my week this week. If you have anything to share, then please share what you have done this week, either in school or when you've had an opportunity to go out and about in your community. Maybe you visited your local adventure playground or the local park. I know lots of you have been going to swimming lessons and doing lots of other healthy sports. Now, I think it's time for a bit of music. And this is Let It Grow by Esther Dean.
Plant a seed inside the earth. Just one way to know its worth. When we celebrate the world, come on and celebrate the world.
So I hope that you enjoyed that song, and it was Let It Grow by Esther Dean. So I hope that you enjoyed that. And just going to take a little seconds just to relax. So I'd just like to say thank you to everybody that's listened in this morning. Don't forget to tune in again and stay tuned for the second half of Edutainment with Infotainment with Miss B. And if you like the story, please let me know. You can do so by sending a message in the chat. Thank you.
iLive Radio, supporting independent artists from around the globe.
This is Chuck Ola, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
Hey, this is Deja Bell, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
I'm Amber Sweeney, and you're listening to iLive Radio, iLive Radio, iLive Radio, iLive.
This is Vanessa Ferguson, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
iLive Radio is proud to bring you the iLive Volcano Relief Fundraiser and Awareness Event. Please join us for an evening of edutainment in honor of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Thursday, 24th of June 2021 from 6 p.m. till midnight, taking place at the Night Owl, 5 Station Place, Finsbury Park, London N4 2DJ. We will be raising much needed funds and giving you a true insight into how the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines are being affected. This is a social and entertaining event that serves as edutainment with live music, raffles, DJs and much more. Obtain your free ticket now via Eventbrite. For more information, visit our website allthews.ilivuk.com or check out our Instagram, Facebook and Twitter page, iLiveUK. This event will be streamed live, so do the right thing. Get your tickets now for the iLive Volcano Relief Fundraiser and Awareness Event, Thursday, 24th of June, 2021.
Hi, join me, Miss B, every Saturday between 10 and 12 on iLive UK for my Edutainment with Infotainment show, bringing you short stories and poetry, music and lots more. See you then.
Ready to start your Saturday night? Tune in to the Beats and Bass show here on iLive Radio with me, DJ Deep Sound. Delve into the sounds of 140 deep dubstep, drum and bass, house, and many genres. Spinning something different every week, featuring special guest DJs and artists. The Beats and Bass show, weekly 2 to 4 p.m. UK time, here on iLive Radio. Be there or be square.
Join me, Sims Mode, for that Saturday vibe every Saturday between 4 and 6 p.m. on iLive UK, giving you 2 hours of music, talk and discussions, competitions, interviews with guests, local, national and international from all walks of life. So keep it iLive UK for that Saturday vibe.
This is Mr. C. Catch me on iLife UK each and every Saturday between the hours of 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. playing R&B, soul and neo music each and every Saturday.
Sunday dinner finished. Children in bed. Lunch prepared for Monday. Clothes ironed. Want to finish the week in the best way? Do not, I repeat, do not Listen to The Love Shack on iLive Radio at 9 o'clock every Sunday. The Love Shack, changing the way you advertise radio shows.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
iLive UK want to hear from you. You can get involved by calling us on 0208 638 8503, or you can send a WhatsApp message, text only, to 07 564 265 257. You can watch us live on YouTube and Mixcloud, and whenever you miss a show, you can listen back via Apple and Google Podcasts. Don't forget to download our iLive Radio Network app from the Google Store and take us on the road with you. It's iLive UK across all platforms, changing the way you listen to radio.
You're listening to iLive Radio.
iLive Radio.
iLive Radio. Changing the way you listen to radio.
iLive Radio. Supporting independent artists from around the globe.
This is Chuck Ola, and you're listening to iLive Radio. Changing the way you listen to radio.
Hey, this is Deja Bell, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
I'm Amber Sweeney, and you're listening to iLive Radio. iLive Radio. iLive Radio. iLive.
This is Vanessa Ferguson, and you're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio.
iLive UK want to hear from you. You can get involved by calling us on 0208 638 8503, or you can send a WhatsApp message, text only, to 07 564 265 257. You can watch us live on YouTube and Mixcloud, and whenever you miss a show, you can listen back via Apple and Google Podcasts. Don't forget to download our iLive Radio Network app from the Google Store and take us on the road with you. It's iLive UK across all platforms, changing the way you listen to radio.
Welcome back to the second half of the show, the Young Poets Corner. So I hope you enjoyed the first half, and before I continue, I'm just going to give out those important numbers. So if you've got any siblings around who are between the age of 11 to 16, then go and wake them up now and say Miss B is on iLive UK with her Edutainment with Infotainment show. You can do so by clicking ilivek.com, or you can contact me right here, right now in the studio on 0208 638 8503, or you can join me in the WhatsApp text only on 07564 265 257. You can catch me and other iLive UK shows via all social media by going to iLive UK, and you will find us on YouTube, Twitch and Mixcloud. So how's your week been? Young poets and parents, please let me know what sort of things that you got up to this week. Now, before I go into the poems that I'm going to read today, I would just like to play my first track. And my first track is something that I used to listen to when I was growing up, and it's from a great girl group from back in the day. And parents, I'm sure that you will also know this song. So this is Unpretty by TLC.
another one. DJ Khaled.
Some people stand, some people move. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. As long as you've got hope, you'll find your way. There's power in the thoughts that you think, there's power in the words you say. Like I can, I will, I will. I am, no fear, no fear. Today, I saw a rainbow in the rain. It told me I can do anything. If I believe, I believe, I believe in me. I believe, I believe, I believe in me. I got the light inside of me, and I've got no choice but to let it breathe. As long as there is love, I can make it anywhere I go. If I follow my dreams, I'll end up building a yellow brick road. I can, I will. Yeah, I am, no fear, no fear. Today, I saw a rainbow in the rain. It told me I can do anything. If I believe, I believe, I believe in me. I believe, I believe, I believe in me. I'm living my best life.
So this is DJ Khaled and I Believe, and it's a feature from the Walt Disney movie. And coming up next is Who You Are by Jessie J.
I stare at my reflection in the mirror. Why am I doing this to myself? Losing my mind on a tiny error. I nearly left the real me on the shelf. No, 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 no. Don't lose the eye in the blur of the stars. Seeing is deceiving, dreaming is believing. It's okay not to be okay. Sometimes it's hard to follow your heart. Says don't mean you're losing. Everybody's bruising. Just be true to who you are. No, 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 no. Brushing my hair, do I look perfect? I forgot what to do to fit the mold.
Okay, and that was Jessie J, Who You Are. So now it's about that time that we get into some poetry. So I'm going to read you my first poem. And yes, we are revisiting Poor by Caleb Femi. Now, I've read a few of his poems before on some of my previous shows. Such a great young poet. You might be wondering, what poem are you going to read today, Miss B? Well, you're about to find out. So today's poem that I'm going to read today is called Gentle Youth. And like I said before, it's from a young gentleman called Caleb Femi and his book Poor. If retribution was what the youths wanted, not one brick would remain on the city skyline. We are over such theatrics for now. We browse through the catalogue of anarchy, underline moments in history, and conclude that everyone wants to go home. Who knew the streets were so frail, could fall apart this easily? The youths ran in all directions, like scared cattle, frightened animals, posed the biggest threat to others and themselves, basic zoology. The youths of today are cherry stems loaded in the magazine of a gun. The news say us youths will come for you in the small of the night, but what we really do is make music, tweet, gram, unwrinkle nightlight from skin. One of us saw visions of a new home. Like Frank Ocean used to say, new world, new sky, that's so blue, it's black too. We are all sat listening to him in tears. Youths robbed of youth, robbed of a rocking cradle, singing the ballad of the youthful. If sorrow must come for us, let it collect us at our homes. The end. Now, that was a poem called Gentle Youth by Caleb Femi, and from his amazing book Poor. So if you are a young poet or trying to find out what kind of books you're into, and maybe you just want to read words that might relate to experiences that you are going through right now or have been through, then this is a fabulous book to purchase. And I would advise that you go and try and see if you can find this book. Maybe you have a nephew, or maybe you have a cousin, or maybe you have a brother, even sister that might love to read this book. So that's my first poem. So please let me know. You can do so, like I said before, by contacting me in the studio on 0208 638 8503, or you can WhatsApp text only on 07 564 265 257. Now, just one important announcement. If you haven't already got your ticket for the I Love Volcano Relief fundraiser and awareness event, then you need to do that now. You can do so by going to Eventbrite and search I Live Volcano Relief. Some of you who might be listening might be thinking, what is this I Live Volcano Relief? Well, here at I Live Radio, we are proud to bring you the I Live Volcano Relief fundraiser and awareness event. The event is to support the victims of last of 3 volcano eruption that occurred in St. Vincent and the Grenadines in April 2021. So, parents, please join us for an evening of edutainment in honour of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What day is it? It's actually next week, Thursday, the 24th of June 2021, from the hours of 6 p.m. till midnight. The venue that is taking place in is called The Night Owl, 5 Station Place, Finchley Park, London N4 2DJ. We will be raising much needed funds and giving you a true insight into how the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines are being affected. This is a social and entertaining event that serves as an edutainment with live music, raffles, DJs and much more. So like I said, obtain your free ticket now. Yes, I said free. And you can do so by going to Eventbrite and typing in I Live Volcano Relief. If you require more information, you can go to our website, and that is www.iliveuk.com, or our Instagram or Facebook or Twitter page at iLiveUK. So now I've shared that important information, and you know, time is just flying by. Here is Kendrick Lamar, Now and Never, featuring Mary J. Blige.
We on? Alright. 1, 2, 3, go! Waking up in a dream, sleepwalking on another big stage. You never heard peace till you hear people scream your name in unison. I'm so far away from the place I used to be, struggling usually. Look at the new me, fate pursuing me. I can feel the energy in the air. It feel like I'm supposed to be here.
Everywhere I go, I'm getting so much love from fans to stars. Everyone saying how they can't wait for the OP. And I'm gonna blow, they believe in me. Feel so good in what you do. Help somebody else get through. That's why I do the best I can, because I know how blessed I am. I'm so high, I can touch the sky. I know it's my time, and it's now or never. Shine so bright, I light the night, and it feels so right. Ain't nothing better.
A fool if I take it all for granted. A smart man if I keep my feet planted to the earth. Cause the people that hurt can understand it. You speaking outlandish, I'ma show you how to make it all work. Another planet, it's a short-term goal for me. A record soul for me, it's just more of me in your ear. For you to hear Kendrick persevere. Defenses, I feel relentless. Ambition with a clear vision. Taking off, I ain't taking off these pistons. I'm taking off on the enemy. Your distance came across me. How much it cost me to get you out my business. I said a planet, it's a short-term goal. No sky is the limit. I'm past that, now past that. Award not 1 but 4 times 2 plus yours.
I see myself performing there.
K-Dot.
Sold out shows where the room is packed. Sitting at the Grammys winning 5 awards. See myself on big billboards. Traveling around the world with endorsement deals. Can't imagine how it feels. That's why I'm smiling every day, because my dream ain't far away. I'm so high, I can touch the sky. I know it's my time, and it's now or never. Shine so bright, I light the night, and it feels so right. Ain't nothing better.
You looking at me and you tell me I'm blessed. Calculated my steps, my heart, my breath. Breathe lungs of a victory, and vividly you see me when I'm at my best, my worst. This verse dedicated to the days that I slept with a curse. Research my pay dues, I'm reimbursed. I burst in the crowd with a voice and a crown. I'm a king on the prowl, and I see mama smile. And a vow I'ma take that I'll never break. You can break bread with me now. We can all take a bow on the edge of the pedestal and scream out loud that we made it off the avenue and walk that mile. In the darkness, I often sit back and get lost in the rap that I wrote. When you told me that it spoke to your soul, I was talking to you. I was walking it through every ghetto. Tell success, hello, we here.
And I'm so happy I cry, cause I can't believe all the things I ever wanted are finally happening for me. And it's so surreal that I almost feel that any minute I could wake up from this fantasy. When you pray so hard and you've come so far, and you know that it's the time for you to leave your mark. And I'm
Alright, you're gonna roll with me today. You got lovely hair, innit? I'm going for it.
I'm blinded by your grace.
I'm blinded by your grace, by your grace. I'm blinded by your grace. I'm blinded by your Lord, I've been broken. Although I'm not worthy, you fix me. I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me, Lord, I've been broken. Although I'm not worthy, you fix me. Now I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me.
One time for the Lord, and one time for the cause. And one round of applause, one time for Fraser T. Smith on the chords. I think we got one. I stay prayed up, then I get the job done. Yeah, I'm Abigail's youth, but I'm God's son. But I'm up now, look at what God's done. No, I'm real tall, look at what God did. On the main stage, running around topless. I phone flips, then I tell him that we got this. This is God's plan, they can never stop this. Like, wait right there, could you stop my verse? You saved this kid and I'm not your first. It's not by blood and it's not by birth. But oh my God, what a God I serve.
Lord, I've been broken. Although I'm not worthy, you fix me. I'm blinded by your grace. You came and saved me. Lord, I've been broken. Although I'm
So I hope that you've enjoyed the show so far, and I nearly forgot the most important thing. So let's play hip hop versus poetry. So I hope you're ready. You need to go and get yourself a pen and a piece of paper, and we are shortly going to begin. So I hope that you've got your pen and paper ready, and you are ready for hip hop versus poetry. So I'm just going to get myself all nice and comfy and just see how things are going to go over. So I hope you're ready and it goes just a bit like, this. So my first verse is this. Now, if you don't know the rules, you'll have a few seconds to listen to the verse, and then I'll give you about a few seconds just to say whether you think it is hip hop or whether you think that it is poetry.
This speech is my recital. I think it's very vital to rock around. That's right. On time. It's tricky. Here we go. It's tricky to rock around. That's right. On time. It's tricky. It's tricky. It's tricky to rock around. That's right. On time. It's tricky.
Okay. So my first verse reads like this. A fool if I take it all for granted. A smart man if I keep my feet planted. To the earth, 'cause the people that hurt can understand it. You speak outlandish. So that was my first verse. And countdown begins now. Okay, so now, before I reveal my answer, I'm going to read my second verse. So I hope that you are ready. And my verse begins now. If I was just another dusty record on the shelf, would you blow me off and play? If I asked you to scratch my back, could you manage it? So that was my second verse. And countdown begins now. So, if you said, actually, what do you think, listeners? Do you think it was hip hop or poetry? Please let me know. So, I'm just going to reveal the answers because I'm not sure if any of you would have got this. But if you did, then well done to you already. And fantastic listening. And you can tell that maybe then you're really into your music and you listen to lots of different genres. But as you know, our focus is hip hop and poetry. So if you said hip hop for the first verse, then you were correct. Well done to you. It was one of the tracks that I played already, and it's called Now or Never, and it's by Kendrick Lamar featuring Mary J. Blige. Some brilliant lyrics in that song. And my second verse, if you also guessed hip hop again, then well done to you. That was Stereo Heart's Gym Class Heroes. My next verse will read a little bit like this. I was nothing to offer you. I have nothing to offer you, but only my pair of Air Max 90s. In principle, they are my autopsy laid out in rubber and threading. Take with them. Godspeed through the valley of days. So what do you think? Do you think that was hip hop or do you think that was poetry? Countdown begins now. Now, I wonder what you thought. If you thought that it was hip hop, then unfortunately not. That actually was poetry, and it was another wonderful poem by Caleb Femi from his book Poor, and it was called Concrete. So that's the end of hip hop versus poetry. Just a quick one today because we need to get on to hot topics. So before we go into hot topics today, just have a think about the songs that have been played so far in the second half. What do you think the topic could be today. What do you think, guys? Please let me know what you think it would be after this track called Cantaloupe, and here is a remix by US3. And it's now time for Hot Topics. And joining me today is Sim Mode. Good morning, Miss Mode.
And how are you?
I am good, thank you.
Good, good, good.
And how's your week been this week?
It's been better this week compared to last week. It was a bit of the dramas, but you know, this week's been good, so can't complain.
Oh.
And yourself?
Yeah, my week this week has been full of ups and downs, but it's been a great week and I've had loads of fun. I was just sharing with the listeners all the fun stuff I did at school this week.
Nice.
And it was great. So we've made a dolphin out of plastic bottles because we are literally focusing on Science Week.
Right.
Remember, like I was talking about it before in March, but obviously, like I was saying, because the children were in lockdown and were at home, they were unable to actually take part in activities planned at school. So we have spent this week, the 9th to the 16th of June, doing great science activities and also doing lots of experiments with plastic.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah. And I've come up with a great idea that I'm going to do in my jewellery club next week. We're going to be making brooches from plastic cups.
Oh, nice.
So I will definitely show you the ones that
I'm
are made. I will share those with you.
Yeah.
And it's now time for Hot Topics. So today's hot topic is body image. And I'm going to talk about what body image is or might mean to some people, and myself, Sims Mode, and everybody locked in. We're going to have a nice deep conversation about the positives and negatives of body image and what sort of things parents could look out for and places where they can get some kind of help and assistance. So, let me just take a seat because I've been standing all day and just using out all my energy, dancing up and down. And I'm not a spring chicken, but I'm spring enough.
Yes, indeed.
I am. So, what is body image? So, body image is how and what you think and feel about your body, your shape, and your size. And one of the biggest influences for the young listeners is puberty.
Right, yeah.
So around that time, you have changes in your body, things develop. You might start secondary school and feel like you need to fit in. And you might feel that it's important for you to look the same as others. Sims Mode, what do you think about body image?
Body image is something that's, you know, I don't think it's really talked about a lot, where I think it needs to be, especially with young people. I know for me growing up, I did have an issue with body image because my development, at the age of like 10, 11, I saw the changes.
Okay.
And then for me as a child, this was all new. I was like, what's going on? Because, all the other years when I'm younger, like this hasn't happened. And then all of a sudden, bam, it's just there. Body's different. Things are changing. So I must say I had a supportive parent who was very, just give me encouragement, because, in society today, and especially today, like image is very like more bigger than what it was back in the day.
Most definitely.
With social media and, and what you see on the media, it kind of dictates to young people how you're meant to look. And there's some people who feel they need to look a certain way, as you said, to fit in. My thing is like, you don't need to fit in because you're your own unique person. You have your own unique style, and however your body is, that's your body.
That's right.
And you need to learn to love your body and embrace your body. So, yeah, for me, for body, I think it needs to be talked a lot more with young people to give them that confidence that who you are, that's all you need. You don't need to be looking like a certain pop star or a certain celebrity in the film and TV world. Just be you.
Yeah, or even your friends at school.
Yeah.
You don't need to fit in, because majority of the time your friends like you because of who you are as a person and your uniqueness.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to just give a little insight into positive body image. And like we've been saying, it's about yourself and feeling happy and satisfied with your body, as well as feeling comfortable and accepting that you look the way that you look. Now, you could be feeling the opposite, whereby you've got a negative outlook or a negative mindset on how you feel about your body. So you might be feeling unhappy by the way that you look. You might want to change your body or your body size or shape, and you might be swayed by those influences like you mentioned, social media, fear of missing out. But one of the other things that can also impact you as young people in regards to body image is cyberbullying.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, I know that a lot of it might go on, and we encourage parents, just if you can, because I know this is very difficult to do with any child of any age, is to manage their internet and social media time, like WhatsApp, Snapchat, TikTok.
the list goes on.
The list. I can't even keep up. I can't even keep up. Like, someone said to me, "You got Twitch?" I was like, yes, I have got Twitch now, but I don't know about TikTok and Snapchat and all these kind of social platforms that people are using. But I just wanted to give an important fact about how it impacts on mental health.
Yes.
So, did you know, according to a survey carried out by the mentalhealth.org, it showed that 79% of 11 to 16-year-olds said that how they looked is important to them. And over half of them, which is like 52%, worried about how they looked. Can you believe that?
And at such a young age as well, because we can't, I feel for some we associate, people who have issues with their body, more of the teens, but now it's starting younger than that.
Most definitely.
And it's very sad to see and hear that, young children are looking at their bodies thinking, my body should be looking a different way.
Yeah. And like you said, it actually does impact younger children. And I came across a scenario, I think I was out somewhere, and these two children were talking about their age and how old they were.
Yeah. And
one child was like, so why do you look different to me then? Meaning that he was taller, just the appearance was different.
Yeah.
And the other child was like, maybe it's how you eat or what your habits are. Like, maybe you just do different things to me. This is what I like, and what do you like, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, in the eyes of that child, I think they didn't take it as them just having a discussion and just talking about differences. That child then reflected on that child and how that child felt about themselves. It made the child look inwards and think, maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I'm the wrong shape or the wrong size because I look so different to this, my peer who is the same age as me. Now, that shouldn't matter.
No.
Young poets, or just everybody just listening in, young people listening in, like we've expressed at the beginning, just love yourself for who you are. You are great inside and out. And for younger children, the story Sulwi by
Lupita
Nyong, thank you. It's such an amazing book to share with your child, just to kind of give them understanding about how beautiful they are inside and out. Like, I really enjoyed reading that story, and might be going a bit off topic, but definitely check that book out. It's amazing. So I just thought maybe today we've talked a little bit about the impact of positive and negative body image, and how it actually also can impact on your mental health. Now, I just want to give you some suggestions, parents, young people listening in, of how you can kind of keep an eye on it. So for parents, like Simmo said, like her mum spoke to her about herself and her image, and just how to love herself and care for herself, and just do all the things that will make you feel good and brilliant inside. So parents, one thing that I'd like to suggest is talk to your child. Talk to your children, talk to your son, talk to your daughter. Maybe you're noticing signs of changes in their habit. Could be to do with what they're eating, what kind of clothing they're trying to wear. Maybe when they're leaving for school in the morning, they're not greeting you and saying goodbye as normal. Maybe they've got hidden items in their bag, because I know that when I was younger, I did things like that. Like, my aunt got me this skirt. I got to talk about it. My aunt got me this skirt, and the skirt was down to the ground. Like, you couldn't even see my ankles.
Yeah.
And when I was going to school, all my other friends were wearing skirts which were like to their knee or above their knee. It was like a trendy look. Like, it was still part of the uniform. And I was like, oh my God, why has my aunt got me this skirt like all the way down to my knees? And like yourself, I was like, oh, I don't look like my friends, and I kind of tried to fit in. And what I would do is do silly things like put clothing under my clothes, and
Right.
you know, I used to do those kind of things.
yeah.
But I got to an age where I realised actually what I wore had nothing to do with my friends or how I was as a person, and I got rid of the clothing that I wore underneath and just rocked the skirt in my own way, with my pumps. And I used to have one of those pink puffer jackets from back in the day, and it reminded me of the Pink Ladies from Greece, you know, like, so I kind of, anyways. So, like I've mentioned before, having good eating habits is also a good thing. So ensuring that you have 3 meals per day. I would also encourage that you do exercise. It doesn't have to be anything like big or major.
No, it doesn't have to be anything strenuous.
No.
It's like 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And it could be something as simple as walking.
Yeah.
I know that when you're playing at school, for the older children, maybe you're doing activity. I know boys and girls love football. So maybe you're playing football, maybe you're playing king ball, that still needs movement.
Yeah. Right,
and things like that. Most of all, parents and young people lead by example. So what you show people looking up to you or watching you is very important. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with what you've suggested as well. But I would also encourage young people to just really, like, you know, find that confidence. Don't let anybody put any pressure on you to look a certain way. As I said before, everybody is unique. And the question I would ask the young listeners, would you like to live in a world where everybody looked the same? No. So this is what I'm saying. There's different people from different walks of life. You have people who are tall, you have people who are short, you have some people who are big, who are small. You know, just love yourself. The key word is about loving yourself.
Most definitely. So I've got some other things that I'd also like to remind you of, but you've already touched on that.
Okay, sorry.
So
my
no,
bad.
don't worry. It's all good. We're all on the same page here, and we're all trying to empower and uplift those young listeners that are listening in, and that's the most important thing. And it's just nice that we're in sync and we're just sharing that kind of vibe in here right now in the studio. So, like was said before, everybody is different, which includes how they look, body shape and size. Being positive doesn't mean that you have to like everything about yourself.
True.
Yeah. But you just need to love yourself.
Yeah.
Who you are as an individual, what kind of skills you can bring, you know, if you're creative, just who you are in general. And it's important that you focus on what makes you as an individual feel good. You can also do something like list things about yourself that are positive things about you. And I mean, if you're somebody that has had or experienced where you felt a bit negative about yourself and just gone through some kind of journey, then maybe writing out something like that and sticking it on the wall, reading it to yourself every morning, you know, to remind yourself of how beautiful you are inside and out, then by all means do that. If there's like a poem or something that reminds you of yourself and gives you that strength and encouragement, write that out, stick that on your wall. I wear a ring on my finger that says I am me. So if I have a moment where I feel like, oh, maybe people don't like me, or somebody saying something that maybe reflects on how they think about me. I mean, I did play a track which just said, don't listen to what people say. And it's by Jessie J, I think. I will go back and I'll check that out for you. But I can just look down at my finger and actually just remind myself that I am me. I am who I am inside and out, I am beautiful. And it doesn't matter what people say. People are not always going to accept you for who you are. But those few that do, I would say, like, you know, they are great friends to you and stuff. So, you know, just don't worry about what people think of you. Really focus on what you think about yourself.
Yeah.
And also, don't try to fit in, like we've already said. You know, be unique and, you know, keep thinking positive thoughts about yourself and having your own style and just, you know.
Exactly, because, you know, when it comes like for fashion, and obviously people like to follow the fashion sometimes you just having your own unique style, you'll be surprised that then others will look at you and start following you.
Exactly.
Right?
So you could set the trend.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
You might set the trend by wearing a certain shoe, or, you know, there was a time where we wore odd shoes, but it was a trend, and we had our own style. You picked the colour of shoes that you wanted to wear on your feet, and that's what made you you.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
right.
just don't be afraid to kind of be who you are. Now, if you're struggling with body image, or parents, you just want a little advice, maybe you're seeing signs of change of eating habits from your children, etc., then here are some important websites that you can go to. So you can go to childline.org.uk. Like, there's so much information on this website, so much helpful information. And when I was searching, I was like, okay, I've told them about this website before. However, it's full of great facts, information, advice, and services that can help young people. Another website that I came across when doing my research was called Freedom, which is spelled free, FREEDERM, and that's .co.uk. That's another great website where you can go to and just find out some important information. Maybe you need some advice, or you're just not sure. Maybe you're being bullied and you just need someone to talk to because you can't speak to your parent, or maybe you've spoken to your teacher but nothing has been resolved. Another fabulous website for you guys to also check out is youngminds.org.uk. That's another great website for you to also check out. And I also mentioned earlier on the mental health website, which is mentalhealth.org.uk. And you can also check out that website too. Now, loads of chatting. I did tell you that I was going to play a song that I've already played, and that is Who You Are by Jessie J.
I stare at my reflection in the mirror. Why am I doing this to myself? Losing my mind on a tiny error. I nearly left the real me on the shelf. No, 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 no.
And thank you all for listening in. Don't forget to check me out next week. You can go to our website, iliveuk.com. Following from me is the Beats and Bass show. So don't forget to stay tuned, locked in to iLive UK. And you're going to have a great Saturday, guys. See you next week, and thank you for locking in.
You're listening to iLive Radio, changing the way you listen to radio. iLive Radio.
This is Blaze, and you're listening to iLive Radio.